talk to you about a comment that I get a lot on my social media. So a comment that I hear all the time is, why is natural hair so expensive? I figured I would just make a video about it because it's an interesting topic and I hear it so often that I figured it would make a pretty good video. So my thoughts are that natural hair is as expensive or as inexpensive as you personally want it to be. You know, you create your own destiny. I don't think it's necessarily like a natural hair issue or the fact that you have natural hair. I think it's just the fact that you're learning how to do your hair that's making it expensive. And this is especially for like newer naturals. Your hair is just grown out and you're learning how to work with your natural hair, how to style it, how to keep it healthy. I think a lot of people rely on products to help them get through this period. I can't blame them because, you know, there's tons of marketing to us natural girls now. You know, if you're transitioning, buy this set of products. Oh, if you have wavy hair, buy this set of products. If you have curly hair, if you have kinky, coily, 4C, 4A, come here, go there. And it can get like really confusing. When I just started going natural in 2008, there were probably like 2 main natural hair product companies, and you know, it was really easy to not get sucked into all that marketing. But today there's like a million natural hair product companies, and so it's kind of easy to feel like you have to rely on products with your natural hair care. But you know, at the end of the day, there's no miracle product that's gonna style your hair. That's up to you to learn how to style your own hair. And so instead of focusing on all these expensive products and getting the right product for your hair and all that kind of stuff, just focus on your technique instead. Focus on how to style your hair. So just like I talked about in my tips for transitioners video, whenever somebody comes up to me and they're like, oh hey, I'm just going natural, I'm transitioning, you know, what product should I use? I always ask them, well, what products are you using now? And then they tell me and I'm like, well, just keep using those products. And the reason that I say that is because you're already a pro at using those products. You've been using them for however long and you're really comfortable using those products. When you're starting to go natural, you're gonna have all these different variables happening and it's gonna be really confusing. Your natural hair is growing out, you're having 2 different textures, maybe you big chopped and you're learning how to work with your natural hair now. You have no idea where your hair is gonna be. Curly or wavy, kinky, coily, thin, thick, and learning what kind of styles your hair likes and what kind of styles they can hold, what styles they can't. And all of that equals confusion. There's like a huge learning curve with that. So you don't want to have the frustration of learning how to style your natural hair along with learning what products to use, because all of that is just too much. That's where people get frustrated. Instead, stick with the products that you already are comfortable with and then deal with the confusion of styling your hair. So at least there's one constant to keep you comfortable. Now I know some of you guys are like, well, why should I continue using the products that work for my relaxed hair on my natural hair? It's a totally different texture. And I get that, but again, that's the mentality of thinking that your product dictates your style. Really, at the end of it all, products are great and they're kind of like the icing on the cake, but what's going to dictate your style is your technique. So you really want to focus more on learning your hair. It's really the technique that's going to style your hair. And technique is free. That doesn't cost anything. That just takes time and a little bit of patience. But if you focus on the technique and not so much on the products, you're going to learn a lot more about your hair and about what your hair needs. So I kind of look at it like an artist learning how to paint for the first time. You know, you're not going to go to the art store and you're going to start out with a $30 oil paint. You're going to go and get the $2 oil paint because you know you're going to make some mistakes and you're just learning. And you don't want to waste all that money. You don't want to buy the expensive stuff right away. You really just want to work on your craft and your technique and really get it to where you're comfortable, and then start playing in the products, the expensive oil paints, and get your hands dirty in that. So it's the exact same thing with hair care. I think a lot of people are just starting right out the gate and buying the most expensive products and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so expensive, why is this costing so much? But you don't realize that it doesn't have to be that way. In the beginning, you really should just be working on styling your hair rather than the products. Now, I'm not saying don't use products. I think products are great, but I just don't want you to rely so much on them because at the end of the day, it's not the products that are styling your hair, it's you. So you really have to focus on working with your own hands and your technique. For me personally, like when I started going natural, I just used the same products that I was using when I was relaxed and it worked out fine. And then I started making my own products for a really long time, and I actually just started getting into going and buying products and testing out different products like last year. So I've been natural for probably like 7 years and I'm just getting into it. And it's a lot of fun. I think it's definitely stepped up my styling game, but the point is that it's a luxury item. Styling products are definitely luxury. Like, you don't need them. They help you in your technique and getting that final style, but you don't need them to grow your hair or to figure out how to style your hair. You know, you're not gonna go into CVS and buy a twist out in a jar. Like, it doesn't happen like that. You know, it's up to you to learn that. And so while you're learning, don't waste a lot of money doing that. So you just want to focus on mastering your technique before you deal with new hair products. So once you learn about your hair, about what styles you like, what styles your hair can hold and do, then you can go out and you can be confident in choosing what type of hair products you know that your hair will like because you know your hair. So now you've mastered your technique and you can go buy the $30 oil paint. Now it's time to invest in some really good products to bring your styles to a new level because you know more about your hair type, what your hair can do and what it can't do. And then you're not going to be spending a lot of money on hair products. And of course, there's tons of amazing products out there, but if you don't learn how to actually style your hair, it really doesn't matter how good that product is because it's only assisting you in your styling technique. So you could have the most amazing, highly raved product on the market, but if you don't know how to do the twist out or the Bantu knot out for your own hair texture, it's just going to sit on your hair and it's not going to help you at all. Another great way to save money is to make your own hair products. There's tons of DIY homemade recipes online and they save you a lot of money. Everything from deep conditioners to cleansers, styling pomades, whatever you need, you can find a recipe for online. And I even have a ton of them on my own channel here. Personally, I love to use tons of oils, have lots of nutrients in my recipes. Everything from coconut to argan oil. Some of these oils might be a little expensive and that's kind of where people are like, oh, homemade recipes, they cost too much money. But here's the thing, you can make it your own. You can make it fit your budget. If you don't want to buy the argan oil, don't buy the argan oil. Buy something that's less expensive. Olive oil, coconut oil, those are all readily available at your local grocery store and they don't cost a lot of money. So you can buy like a huge tub of coconut oil that can last you like months and use it from everything from styling to deep conditioning, and now you've saved a ton of money. So when you find a homemade recipe online that you like, you can either stick to the recipe or you can kind of use it as inspiration and make it fit your own budget. You don't have to be tied down to the exact recipe. For example, my hot oil treatment uses all these amazing oils, but if you don't have all that or you don't have access to all that, just use one oil. Just use a coconut oil, it works just as well. Or if you don't even have access to coconut oil, use olive oil. So yeah, you can definitely make it your own and make it fit your budget. And DIY recipes pretty much work for most hair types, which is great, you know, unless you're allergic to something or you're sensitive to something. You know, there's women in other countries with like a million different hair types who don't have access to the hair products that we have access to, don't even have access to the internet. They're able to grow their hair healthy and long and strong with just black soap and shea butter. So, you know, the products that we have access to are a complete luxury and they're great and fun to play with, but I'm just trying to stress to you that they're not as important as technique is. Because if you have the right technique, you can do a lot with just black soap and shea butter. Personally, for me, I found that going natural saved me so much money, like so much money. I used to get my hair relaxed every 6 weeks and that was a mandatory salon visit. So I was spending about $100 every 6 weeks, and once I went natural, that was cut out of my budget. I was putting that $100 back into my pocket every 6 weeks. And on top of it, I was making my own hair products. So I would go and buy like a huge block of shea butter for like $50, and that would last me like a year, even with giving it away to people as gifts. And you know, I really started with just kind of basic oils, olive oil, coconut oil. That was pretty much all I used. And I used like a clay to wash my hair. And that was it. I was probably spending about maybe $200 a year on hair products, because when you buy ingredients in bulk, it lasts you a really long time. So I mean, I wasn't spending a lot of money. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on the subject. I truly believe that it's up to you to decide how much you want to spend on your hair care, especially when you're in this kind of learning curve situation. If you're not completely comfortable with your natural hair, I don't suggest spending a lot of money on products. I suggest just sticking with what you know and what fits your budget and what you're comfortable with until you really perfect your technique. And if you want to at that point, and you don't have to, but if you want to, then you can go out and invest in the more expensive products or what you know is gonna really kind of bring your styles to the next level. At the end of the day, it's not a natural hair issue, it's just a learning curve issue, and it can happen with any hair type. So anyway, I hope that this helped, and I hope that you enjoyed this type of video where I just kind of sit down and talk to you guys. If you did enjoy, just let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you want me to do more of these types of videos where I just kind of sit here and tell you my thoughts on things, and I'll see you in the next one. If you missed my last video, click the link to the left to see this super easy and customizable protective style. And if you're into daily vlogs, you might want to check out the link to the right. This one's really funny. Alright guys, see you there.